guys, welcome back to our little corner of the internet. It is so good to see all of your beautiful faces. Normally I would tell you to cuddle up, grab a coffee, and just settle in, but today's video is going to be a little bit different because it's sponsored by Javvy Coffee. I'm gonna be sharing my 3 favorite fall protein coffee recipes using the protein coffee powder. And all 3 recipes are going to be seasonal and cozy and super easy to make, which is perfect for fall mornings when you want something quick, but you want something good. I am going to be taking it one step further by making my own coffee syrups, and that does add a little bit more prep work in the beginning, but you can store them in the fridge so you can use them all week. But if you want really easy, you can go the store-bought route as well. Since we're doing 3 different recipes, I also wanted to use 3 different flavors of the Javvy protein coffee, starting with the original, of course. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little bit skeptical of this product before I tried it. It kind of just seemed too good to be true, but it is so delicious. It's made of clean and simple ingredients. There are no artificial sweeteners, 0 grams of sugar. Every scoop has 10 grams of protein, and it doesn't taste weird and chalky. It actually tastes like coffee. So I've become like their biggest fan, but I'm also gonna be using their Mocha flavor and the French vanilla. And for those of you who wanna try it for yourself, I do have a discount code. I'll put it here on the screen. You'll get 20% off and free shipping on your first order over $50. Do it. Trust me, you will not regret it. But okay, let's get started on the syrups. We're gonna be making 2 different coffee syrups, starting with pumpkin spice syrup and then an apple crisp syrup. I'm gonna be adding all of the ingredients to the side of the screen here so that you can follow along, add it to your grocery list, and maybe do this with me. But starting with the pumpkin spice syrup, you're going to need 1 cup of water, half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar, half a cup of pumpkin puree, and a splash of vanilla extract. For those of you who prefer a pumpkin syrup as opposed to a pumpkin spice syrup, you can stop here. But if you want the spice, you're gonna be adding cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice. And then for the apple crisp syrup, you're going to need 1 apple. I see that it's recommended to either use a honey crisp or a Fuji. I'm just gonna use whatever I have in my fridge. I have literally no idea what kind of apple it is. But then half a cup of either apple juice or apple cider. I'm gonna be using apple cider. Half a cup of water, half a cup of brown sugar, and then cinnamon and salt. Okay, now we can get started. I also added cinnamon sticks because why not? But this is what your prep should look like. Starting with the pumpkin spice syrup, we're going to need 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar. And if you prefer to keep the entire experience sugar-free, you can possibly use stevia or even monk fruit sweetener. Half cup of pumpkin puree. Now you're gonna mix everything up and then add your pumpkin pie spice. I would say about a tablespoon or so. And then cinnamon. I'm also gonna be extra and use a cinnamon stick because I've had these forever and I might as well use them up. I'll just break it in half. And now we just have to wait for it to simmer. Once it does, I would let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll take it off the heat. And while we wait, we can start chopping up our apple. The 15 minutes are up. I have just been mixing around every couple of minutes or so to make sure that everything is incorporated. The sugar has fully dissolved. I'm gonna take it off the heat and then put it into a different container so that we can start the apple syrup. Just make sure that it's safe to put hot liquids into the container that you choose. Okie dokie. I'm gonna be lazy because I don't wanna have to clean the pan since we're just making another sweet syrup. So I'm just gonna leave the leftover syrup and add the apple in there. We're gonna start with 1 apple, half a cup of apple cider or apple juice, half a cup of water. I'm gonna do a little bit less than half a cup of brown sugar. Then we're gonna add the cinnamon and another cinnamon stick. Because why not? Then a pinch of salt, I forgot to film that, and then I'm just gonna mix it, wait for it to simmer, and then simmer for 15 minutes. The apple crisp syrup is now done. We're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm just gonna put it in a little Pyrex cup. And do not throw away the leftover apples. I'm gonna put these on top of a little yogurt parfait. It's gonna be so good, but I digress. In a perfect world, I would have given the syrups a little bit more time to cool so that I could put them into cuter containers, but I am just way too excited to make this right now. Our first drink of the day is going to be my pumpkin spiced iced protein coffee in this really cute little Halloween mug with black cats. And we're gonna be using the original Javvy protein coffee. So there's a scooper inside of the bag. This is what it looks like. And 1 scoop of this protein coffee powder has 80 milligrams of caffeine and 70 calories. If you want the extra protein boost, you can make it with 2 scoops. And then you can either mix that in with water or milk. I personally prefer milk because it's creamier and I love a creamy coffee. And then I just use a milk frother, make sure it's fully mixed in before we can add the syrup and the ice. So after the first step, it's gonna look a little something like this. Let's add some ice. So this is just the classic way to drink it, but for fall, we're taking it a step further and we're going in with the pumpkin spice syrup. And I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons. Tell me that sound is not just music to your ears. It's super frothy, super creamy, and I know it's gonna taste delicious. Oh my goodness. This is so good, and the DIY syrup just takes it over the top. And this is drink number 1. Super festive. It's just gonna get better. Next up is the apple cinnamon iced protein coffee. We're going to be using the French vanilla one this time. And just like in the last cup, I'm gonna do 1 scoop, some milk. I'm an oat milk girl. It's crazy to me how quickly it mixes into the milk without it tasting chalky. And then our apple crisp syrup. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you batch these syrups ahead of time, you can save them in the fridge up to a week. And then when it actually comes down to making your morning coffee, it will take you 30 seconds. I'm gonna mix it up really well. Oh my God. This one is definitely much sweeter, perfect for everyone out there who has a sweet tooth like myself. It feels so indulgent, but again, there's no sugar except for the syrup that you made. So if you prefer to make a syrup with no sugar, or you prefer to buy a sugar-free syrup, these recipes are super easy to modify. You can just make them however you prefer. For our final drink, we're going to be using the Mocha flavor. And we're not gonna be using the syrups. We're gonna switch things up for this one. Gonna grab our cup, a scoop of the mocha powder, some milk, and then we're gonna mix it up one last time. This is my boyfriend's favorite flavor. I'm gonna need to stock up because he is drinking it every single day. And then for this drink, I'm gonna grab a separate cup because we're making a syrup of sorts. You don't have to pre-make this one. You're gonna start with 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder, some cinnamon, of course, for the fall vibes. I also love cinnamon. I will eat it year round and put it on everything. And then a little bit of milk. And once you've added ice, you just pour the chocolate cold foam of sorts on top. I think I've outdone myself. This is maybe the best one. And all of my mornings recently have just had these coffees on rotation because I genuinely cannot pick a favorite. They're so good. They're my favorite way to start the day. It has been about an hour now and the syrups have finally cooled, so I did really quickly want to show you how I store them. I found these really cute jars online. It's just an adorable way to store them. And obviously the apple syrup recipe made a lot less than the pumpkin syrup recipe. I think I'm gonna have to restock this immediately because I'll probably use this in my coffee tomorrow. And that was my fault. I think I let this one simmer too long. And once you start making your own syrups, I genuinely don't think you'll go back. It is life-changing. Like, this smell is addicting. And if you try any of these Profi, which is like protein coffee recipes, please let me know down in the comments. I'm so curious to know what you think. Also, let me know if you think there are any other combinations that I should try. I feel like the apple syrup with the Mocha Profi would taste so good. The options are literally endless. Not only with the syrups, but also with the protein coffee. I feel like you could add a scoop of the Profi to anything, like a protein shake or a milkshake. Make the milkshake a protein shake. Also, don't forget to use my code for free US shipping and 20% off your first US order of over $50. I'll put the code right here, and I'll have a link in the description box as well that'll take you straight to the Javvy website. But that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Javvy, obviously, for sponsoring today's video. I had so much fun making the syrups and just making all these drinks with you today, and I'll see you next week. Love ya.